What is going on, guys? Rogue TCG here, bringing another Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG deck profile. You all have voted for it, and here I am responding. Here is Runick for Hire. Now, this deck is very interesting and has had some playtesting in the past, primarily, I believe, on Master Duel specifically. However, I do believe that this deck is, I wouldn't say meta viable in the TCG. However, this is at least competitively alright in the TCG. Nothing in the deck really has been hit in any sort of meaningful capacity to prevent this deck from really trying its game plan out. So I'm going to go through the card by card and explain how the deck works, and I'm going to show you a quick little game at the very end. First off, I would like to explain the Fur Hires for a moment. So the Fur Hires are a series of monsters that are kind of all self-referential to a degree. There are like two different like subcategories of Fur Hires, I'd like to say. There are the starter Fur Hires like Philo, Donpa, Beat, Seal, and that's it. These are our starter Fur Hires in a sense. And then we have our end board Fur Hires with Sagita, Dinah, Wiz, and Rafale. So we're going to be able to see what all these cards do in just a moment. So I did organize these cards by levels because that actually is relevant in this deck. The levels of the Fur Hires is very relevant. So starting off with our level 1, we're on 1 Philo Messenger Fur Hire. It's a winged beast. During our main phase, we can special summon 1 monster Fur Hire from our hand except for Philo Messenger Fur Hire. If a monster for hire is special summoned to our field while we control this monster, we can target 1 monster for hire in our graveyard and special summon it in defense position, but place it on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. This is a great card. It's an extender. We're only playing 1 because all of our leveled monsters are pretty tutorable in this deck specifically, and I will be getting to that in just a little bit. This just being able to get an extra monster from the graveyard is just really good in order to just link up and keep going further and further. Since this is a tutorable card, like I mentioned, we are only playing the 1 copy. Next, Broken Ass Legacy Support. We are on a triple Rex Freight for Hire. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 spell trap for hire from your deck to your hand. During the main phase, if you control a monster for hire, quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target a card for hire in your graveyard, and either add it to hand or special summon it if it was a monster. And that each effect of Rex is a once per turn. This card is very strong, being able to add any of your for hire spell traps, and we're playing 2 of them in the 2 different ones, 3 total, I guess. And then also being able to add back any for hire card from graveyard to hand, or if it's a monster special summoning it, is just great, given that our main negations, Wiz and Rafale, do need to discard a for hire card in order to actually negate like something. So being able to just refill your handful of those resources is very powerful. We're on 1 Donpa Marksman for hire. During our main phase, we can special summon 1 monster for hire from our hand except for itself. If a monster for hire is special summoned to our field, we can target 1 face-up card on the field and pop it. This is, again, just a card that we can use if we need to be breaking boards. It's the extender, it's a pop. This card is just really fantastic all in all. It doesn't do too much when we are going first, which is why we're only playing 1 copy of it. However, it is, again, very searchable like all these for hire cards are, so we are completely fine with playing that 1 copy because we know we are most likely going to be seeing it. If we need to, of course. We're on triple Beat Bladesman for hire. During our main phase, we can special summon 1 monster for hire from our hand except for Beat. If a monster for hire is special summoned to your field while you control this monster, you can add 1 monster for hire from your deck to your hand except for itself. And you can use each effect of Beat once per turn. So this card, again, it's the same situation as Philo, except you get to add a monster from deck to hand. For example, like let's say a Rex maybe, and then this thing that we summoned to trigger the beat is like a Philo or a Donpa, so then we can summon again, and you can kind of start to see how this gets a little bit out of hand. And then our last of this first category of for hire is Seal Strategist for hire. During our main phase, we can special summon 1 monster for hire from our hand except for Seal. If a monster for hire is special summoned to your field while you control this monster, you can target 1 monster for hire in your graveyard and add it back to your hand. This one is not actually the best. This one is just resource renewal and being able to get back cards from your graveyard for the negations like I mentioned previously. The main reason this is in here is we do need level 4 for higher just for one of the cards that we will be getting to very soon. So this is just the best option for that level 4 slot in my opinion. Also, feet! There are feet in the picture, oh my goodness. We are on 1 Sagita Maverick for hire. If this card is special summon, we can burn our opponent for each monster for hire with a different name except for itself. So this is a nice little alt-win condition in time. And then you can only use this effect of that once per turn, so that is a once per turn burn. Your opponent cannot target monsters for hire with card effects except for this one. So this is a great way if we need to be ending on some sort of protection. But this is also our level 5 for hire. So as you see, we have 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then 5. So we are making sure we have every single level available to us in this deck. We're on 1 Dyna Hero for hire. If it's special summon, we can banish cards from our opponent's graveyard up to the number of monsters for hire we control with different names. Graveyard Denial is very great. It's unfortunate that isn't a quick effect. However, we will take what we can get, as well as that being a level 6, so we can special this straight out of deck. And I'm just gonna, spoil it a little bit. The card I'm mentioning is Rookie for hire. Rookie for hire is incredibly strong in this archetype. We're on 1 Wiz Sage for hire. This one's also a win condition in time because it gains us life points. And then quick effect, we can discard a card for hire, negate the activation of the spell or trap our opponent activates. And that is a once per turn. So being able to end on this is just a spell trap negate. Great card. Also has a big butt, 2800, pretty large. And then double Rafale Champion for hire. If it's special summon, we can excavate the top cards of our deck equal to the number of monsters for hire we control with different names except for Rafale. And then we can just add any of the cards from deck to hand. Really great, like a pseudo Pot of Prosperity effect. It being able to grab a Runick card specifically, great stuff. And then this one is a monster negate when our opponent activates a card by discarding it for hire. And then for our for hire spell traps, we are on 1 Mayhem for hire. We can target 1 monster for hire in our graveyard in special and defense position. You can only activate it once per turn. It's a quick play monster reborn. That's the main reason we're playing it, and it's searchable with our Rex. So that's just enough reason to be playing it in my opinion. I think it's pretty alright. And then we are on double Rookie for hire. Tribute 1 monster, special summon 1 monster for hire from our hand or deck, whose level is 1 higher or 1 lower than the tributed monster had on field. And you cannot declare attacks the turn you activate this card except for monsters for hire. You can only activate 1 Rookie for hire per turn. So yeah, this is the main reason we are playing this alongside our Runick cards as well. So the main idea is if we have a Hugin or a Gary, we can tribute our Hugin or Gary in order to summon Beat, or because it's 1 level higher or lower. So if we attribute Hugin, we can get Beat, and if we tribute Gary, we can get Beat. If we tribute Gary, we can also get a Maverick if we need to. And if we tribute Hugin, we could also potentially get a Philo. So there's a very large breadth of options we are able to get just by tributing our Runick extra deck monsters, while also freeing up the EMZ to activate another Runick spell on our first turn to get another Runick extra deck monster on board. So just really great little synergy there, being able to basically fetch any for hire from our deck off of the Rex effect, or just opening the Rookie for hire is great. Now onto our Runick engine. For our Runicks, we're on 1 Terraforming, double Runick Fountain, which allows us to activate the Runick Quick Plays from hand during our opponent's turn. And then if we activate a Runick Quick Play, we can target up to 3 of them in our graveyard and shuffle them in the deck, and then draw a card for each one we did shuffle. Or not shuffle, place them on the bottom of the deck, my apologies. But this basically reads draw 2 to 3 cards, is incredible in this deck, especially since we are going like Beat to special something out of hand, and then we get another search. This just really allows us to maintain card advantage while drawing into more just random cards. We're on triple Runick tip. All the Runick spells will have either one or another effect for the most part, either having one effect that will banish a card off the top of our opponent's effect and then do something else, off the top of our opponent's deck, then do something else, or special summoning a Runick monster from our extra deck to the EMZ specifically. So we have to have the EMZ open to use that second effect. So Runick Tip gets to add a Runick card from deck to hand that banishes the top 1 card of our opponent's deck, or special summon a Runick extra deck monster. Flashing Fire has the effect to negate the effects of an effect monster our opponent controls, and then banish the top 3 of our opponent's deck, or special summon an extra deck monster. Flashing Fire allows us to pop a special summon monster our opponent controls and banish the top 2. Destruction allows us to pop a spell trap and then banish the top 4. Smiting Storm allows us to banish the top cards of our opponent's deck up to the number of cards they control, and that's the only effect on that first part, and then special summon a monster for the extra deck. Dispelling allows us to, if our opponent adds a card from deck to hand, except for the draw phase, we get to pitch random card from their hand, and then they have to banish the top 2. This one isn't the best, but this is just another name in order to get the Runick special summon effect off. And then lastly, 1 Runick Slumber, able to target a card face up on field, and next time it'd be destroyed by battle or card effect. It isn't, and then banish the top 3 of our opponent's deck. All the Runick cards also do have the clause where we have to skip our next battle phase after activation. That means we do have to go to the battle phase and then just immediately end it. So this deck is trying to grind out our opponents over the course of multiple turns, and being able to have multiple layered forms of interaction like Rafale and Wiz paired with all these Runick cards does also mean it has a little bit of an easier time grinding out our opponent. And then lastly, for our non-engine or supplementary cards, we have 1 Terraforming to find the Runick Fountain, double Triple Tactics Talents, 1 Called by the Grave, and double Forbidden Droplet. In our extra deck, we're on 1 IP Masquerena, 1 SP Little Knight, double Donner Dagger for hire. These 2 monsters of different types. You can target 1 monster for hire you control and 1 monster your opponent controls and destroy them. And then you can also have the ability to tribute 1 monster, to special summon 1 monster for hire from your hand or graveyard with a different original name than the attributed monster. Then if you attributed a Link monster to activate this effect, you can special summon 1 more such monster, and that's a hard once per turn, and you can only use 1 effect per turn. Donner is very powerful, specifically in for hire strategies. It was played before, not in for hire strategies, just for being a generic pop monster your opponent controls just by attributing a monster. Really great stuff there. However, this card in this deck is also a monster reborn, or even a double monster reborn sometimes. So Donner is incredibly good, and we are playing 2 of it. Run 1 Dark to Dark Charmer Gloomy, and double Folgo Justice for hire. This is one of the main synergistic qualities between the Runicks and the for hires as well. These 3 monsters are different types. They cannot be used as link material. If this card is link summoned, you can special summon 1 monster for hire with a different type from the 3 monsters used for the link summon from your deck in defense position. So let's say, for example, you use like a dinosaur, a beast, and then a fairy for it, something along that line, or a warrior and a fairy for it. You would then be able to summon anything other than a dinosaur, a warrior, and a fairy. So you'd be able to summon our Wiz, which is a spellcaster, our Raphael, which is a dragon. We have a lot of options. So the Folgo Justice for hire will always give us some sort of card we are able to summon, since all of the for hires are pretty much different types for the most part. There are some overlap, like Sagita and Philo are both winged beasts, but there are always going to be some sort of overlap, especially with an archetype this large. And then the main reason we are playing this, if a card your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can draw 1 card, and then if you control 3 or more monsters for hire with different names, draw 2 additional cards. So not only can we have the potential to draw 3 off of Runick Fountain, we also have the potential to draw 3 off of Folgo Justice for hire. Changing that math a little bit from drawing just 3 or potentially 6 if we do the double fountain trick, or to drawing about 9 if we are also able to get the Folgo. And if we're drawing 9 cards, we are most likely winning that game. We're on 1 Access Code, 1 Appaloosa, and 1 Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, because this deck does actually have a little bit of an issue with dealing with towers-like monsters, so Underworld Goddess is for that. We're on 1 Plan B. We can make it with our Seal and a Gary, although it's not very likely. We're on double Hugin of Runick Wings. Being able to add the field spell on summon and then protecting our back row is great. 1 Gary being able to add our field spell back from graveyard to hand, as well as being able to pop a card when it's destroyed by battle. And then 1 Sleipnir, sorry, I don't quite know how to pronounce this name, my apologies. Sleipnir the Runick main. It needs 2 Runick monsters. During your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, quick effect, you can target 1 face of monster your opponent controls, finish both that monster and this card during the end phase, or rather until the end phase. If a card is added from the main deck to your opponent's hand, you can special summon 1 Runick token, very light level 4, 15/15 in attack position. You can use each effect of Sleipnir the Runick main once per turn. This is just an additional option for us. This is also a level 9 monster, so we can go Rookie for hire to tribute the Sleipnir in order to get Rafale out, since Rafale is an 8. So we can translate any Runick spell and then the Rookie for hire into a little monster negate, as well as being able to look at least at the top card of our deck and adding it to hand. And then in our side deck, these are potential cards that we could play. I like Fandora the Flying Fortress. I think it's a very funny card. I don't think it's very good, but I think it's very funny. Being able to choose to not draw a card during a normal draw step in order to just tutor a Fur Hire card is one Fur Hire monster, rather. And if we control 5 or more monsters with Fur Hire with different names, we can send it from field to graveyard to destroy all cards our opponent controls, and for the rest of the turn they take no damage. I think that field wipe is very funny. I don't think it's very good, but I think it is funny. And then lastly, the last card I did want to just mention real quick was Recon Scout for hire. During our main phase, we can special summon one monster for hire from our hand except for itself. If a monster for hire is special summoned to your field while you control this monster, you can target one set card on the field and destroy it. So it's the other half of the Dompa, which pops face-ups. This one pops set cards. So if you're playing against a back row strategy and going first, or even going second, we probably would want to consider siding in Recon in over Donpa. But that's going to be about it for the deck profile. Please stick around because I am going to be showing a quick little game where I'm going to be talking over the gameplay. But if 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, so this is going to be a game that I played. This is against a Cyber Dragon opponent. They're on 41 against our 40. They go Galaxy Soldier, pitch Hertz, Soldier add Soldier, Hertz add Cyber Dragon. Then they are going to go second Galaxy Soldier, discard Cyber Dragon to special summon itself out. No second Cyber Dragon Soldier effect. They're going to go Nova to bring back the Cyber Dragon. Then they're going to Infinity in EMZ, a little bit strange. They're going to go Core to add Emergency. Then they are going to go Emergency. They're going to add from deck to hand a Nashter. Then they are going to activate said Nashter. They're going to pitch another Hertz to special summon itself out. Then they're going to make an SP Little Knight and pass. Not exactly the best end board. We're going to go Smiting Storm in draw step. We're going to go Hugin, pitch Slumber to add Field Spell. We're then going to go and normal summon our Seal to then special summon our Rex. We're going to go Rex add Rookie for hire. We're then going to activate that Runick Fountain of ours and go Rookie for hire, Tribute for cost to summon Beat. Then we're going to go Destruction to special summon Gary. Now that we have 3 in graveyard, we go Fountain to draw 3. We get Dispelling, Dompa, and Philo. We're going to special summon Dompa. We're going to go Beat to add. They're going to banish our Dompa. We are going to add another Rex for next turn. We're going to go Fogo. We're going to go Seal in order to add back. And we're going to go Fogo in order to special summon a Raphael. We are going to grab back from graveyard another Beat. We're going to see a Triple Tack and a Fountain. We're going to grab that Triple Tack since they did activate that SP Little Knight. We're then going to go SP Little Knight. Triple Tack to draw 2. Then Mayhem for hire in order to special summon that Rex in order to make a Donner. We're going to go Rex in order to special summon Seal. Then we're going to go Donner in order to Tribute in order to pop. We're going to draw 3 cards. We're going to go Runick Tip in order to add from deck to hand and then banish 1 off the top. We're going to go another Fountain, then a number Slumber, and then we are going to set 2. We're going to get our Dompa back. In end phase, we're going to pop another card. We're going to go Runick Fountain in order to draw 3 more. And then we're going to call by the very end in order to make sure they can't do another Infinity during their turn. They're going to draw for turn. They're going to go Cyber Emergency. We're going to go Smiting Storm just to banish 2 more. We could get, they add from deck to hand some strange monster. They add Carnot the Eternal Machine. Huge add. They're going to special Mega Fleet using our Folgo, and we're going to droplet during the damage step in order to make it so they can't attack over Raphael. We're then going to draw for turn. It is another Rex. We're going to hop, skip, and a jump from controlling this game. We're going to go Beat, special summon Dinah. We're going to trigger Dompa. We're going to trigger Dinah. We're going to trigger Beat. We're going to banish pretty much their whole graveyard, pop a card, and then get to add a card. They are going to put a card, that Carnot back. Then we're going to make another Folgo. We're going to go Folgo, summon out our not our Marksman, our Maverick. We're going to then special summon out Wiz. We're going to go Flashing Fling in order to pop. We're going to go Folgo and then Runick Fountain in order to draw 2 and then 3. We're going to go to our battle phase to reset it. We're going to pitch a Rex Freight for hire for a turn, and then we're going to pass. They're going to go normal summon Core. We're going to go Rex. We're going to get back our Raphael for another monster negate later on. They're going to add Repair Plant. Then at Resolution, we're going to go Dompa to pop since we did special, and then Raphael to add. And we get to see a handful of cards here. We are going to add that Runick Tip from deck to hand, just because it gives us the most options, even though we pretty much have everything we could ever want. We get to pop a card, we get to go Folgo to draw 3 more. They go repair point, we have the Wiz negate, and then they are just going to scoop it up. So that's going to be about the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'm going to be seeing you all later. Bye-bye! Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you wanted to talk to more Yu-Gi-Oh players like yourself, I would highly recommend checking out our Discord server. Link is going to be in the description, as well as the QR code on screen. We do talk somewhat frequently about Yu-Gi-Oh and the current meta, so I would really enjoy to see you there. As well as we do recently now have channel memberships available on our YouTube channel, where we have 3 different tiers. We have Super Supporter at $2 a month, where you get loyalty badges, emojis, guaranteed comment responses, a shout out at the end of every video, as well as access to the members only Discord channel, where you get early sneak peeks at future videos. There is the Giga Supporter at $5 a month, where you have early access to all new videos about a day or two before they go up, as well as all the previous offers. And for $15 a month, we do have our final tier, which is going to be Femboy Fanatic. You get a guaranteed customized video every single month, as well as 1 hour of my time. Could be for anything you'd like. You want a duel? Absolutely. You want me to help build a deck? Absolutely. You want to play some Helldivers? Sure. I'll do anything for an hour once a month. But supporting does help me out quite a lot, and it does help me produce all of these videos. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be seeing y'all later. Bye-bye.